I'm Laura Daniel, and welcome to Laura Loves New York. I have a special guest with me. This is Russell Kohlmann, affectionately known as Ruffles.
That's right.
And we are in the West Village, and it is Pride. It is Pride.
Yes.
And so I just wanted to share this experience with Russell and tell you guys about him. He has performed here at the Duplex, and it's a legendary cabaret space. And you've done.
Actually, I did 2 versions of a cabaret show of my own, and it's Laura Loves New York, because you could just stumble upon a random performance in the middle of the day.
There's this movie that I think you'll like. This guy decides to quit his job and head to New York City. This cowboy's running from himself.
So this is really fun. This guy showed up and we saw us filming and asked if he would take a picture, and he's so freaking cute. Here he is back there. Revisiting Stonewall reminded me of when my friends Wendy and Ches brought their kids to New York City, and of course I had to bring them down here to the West Village. And their daughter Nell blew me away because she knew all of the flags above the Stonewall Inn.
Purple, that's bisexual.
Which one
There's
is
the hetero and gay.
Talking about Stonewall and Pride with my husband, we were reminded of when we came out here in the early 90s, and we had a friend who bartended at the Stonewall Inn. So my husband went in and got this shirt to commemorate the 25th anniversary. It's almost been 50 years since the Stonewall riots. They happened on June 28, 1969, when police raided the bar. And while the raids had been going on for years, so had the civil rights movement. And by this point, people were just done. They were ready to speak up. Neighbors gathered around the bar, and there were hundreds of people who were shouting, "Gay power, we shall overcome."
And the drag queens and the lesbians, they held the front lines and they fought back against the police. And that is why we have Pride now.
In June 2016, President Obama proclaimed Stonewall Inn and Christopher Park to be a National Historic Landmark, and thus it is now known as Stonewall National Monument. Now that we've done our time travel through history, I want to take you back to Russell and our fun little chat in the West Village. Another thing I want to tell you about Russell is he's playing the very young dad in a super cool movie coming out called Self-Portrait.
Self-Portrait is a project that was created by Corey Leger, and she and her boyfriend co-directed this short film, which we shot last July, and it was really awesome. It was my first short film experience where we really had time to delve into who the characters were. They did a nice rehearsal process.
So tell me about your film. You said you had a film that you, after Self-Portrait, or in the midst of Self-Portrait.
So it's a film, it's called Window Shopping. And
Yes!
yeah, it's a short film about a young man who's just shopping and sees another guy across the way who he thinks is attractive and imagines a life between the two of them.
Oh my gosh, it's so
So I crafted the story to kind of be a fun, romantic little fantasy story for the LGBT community.
I wanted to ask you if you could tell your younger self anything.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right? If you could give your younger self some advice, what would it be?
I actually was just asked this question too, so I should have a good answer already bubbling up in my brain. Go figure. I would tell my younger self to not care about what other people think of him. I think there was about a 15-year period in my life where I kind of quieted my spirit and let my light go down a little bit, just so that I would fit in and be accepted by the general public.
Hold for trucks.
Hold for fire truck.
Bye, fire truck, guys.
We thought we were on a quiet street in New York City. Go figure.
We did. So you were saying that you would tell your little self to let his light out.
Yeah, I think I would too tell him to be very careful of who you choose to be your circle, your posse of people. Let your light shine and stick yourself in the center of people who are super positive and happy and lift each other up.
Yeah.
Because you can't do all the heavy lifting on your own.
Right.
You need somebody who can help you out from time to time.
Yep. There's a great community called SMFA Ninjas, that's Self-Management for Actors. Shout out to Bonnie Gillespie. Woo! And it's a really supportive community.
I'm wearing my thing right now.
Oh, big old five.
That's right.
And I need your sweet face. So Russell and I were watching Pose, not together, but like coincidentally together, and Kate Bush, Running Up the Hill played, and I'm like, it took me back to the 80s and gave you a new discovery.
It did. I love going back in time and finding new music, and that was really a surprise to me because I thought I'd heard every 80s band at some point.
Yeah.
But then that made me fall in love with Wuthering Heights.
Oh my gosh.
So I just did a photo shoot for the Confetti Project, and that day was listening to that song over and over and over again. And I asked her if she would play it, and we listened to it on repeat for like an hour while we just took pictures of me throwing glitter and confetti at myself.
It's so romantic, right?
It's so good.
I had such a great time with Russell in the West Village, and it was so cool to see signs of pride everywhere. And as Russell said, we are all open books.
I said that!
You did! You said it! If there's anywhere else you'd like to see in New York City, drop me a line at lauralovesnewyork2@gmail.com.